NYYST. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Swinging for the fences, knock it out the park. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Christian and Chris, of course SGR. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Homie, New York, Yankee sports talk. Record, rain or shine, grab your shades and umbrellas. NYYST, you're hanging with the fellas.
Welcome back. This is episode 267 of the NYYST podcast. I'm your host, Christian, as always, joined by my co-host, Chris.
Yo!
And SGR.
What up?
What's up, fellas?
Nerfing.
So,
big night tonight.
What's
Big
that?
night tonight.
You getting LAID?
Getting lit or lid? You mean lit?
LAID. Can you spell S-P-E-L-L?
L-A
Is
laid?
this
Nah, I
spelling
got
bee?
laid yesterday.
All
And I got lit yesterday too.
You're married, Chris. You're not bragging.
Actually, it is a brag.
I seen your wife.
That's fucked up, dude. I'm gonna tell her we're not even releasing the show.
No,
Which
well,
isn't
you know
even
what?
We might want to start over.
What
No,
I
we're not
meant
gonna
was
start over.
It's a compliment because the longer you're married, the less you get. That's what people tell me, at least.
I think your wife is a completely normal looking person, but when we insult her, she seems to listen to the show. So I figured I'd throw that in there.
A completely normal looking.
That was an even worse insult.
That's a worse insult. Wow.
How's that? What do you want me to say?
How do I look?
It's hot.
How do I look? You look normal.
You look normal.
Yeah, you're a normal looking person. You got two eyes and nose.
Your eyes,
up,
nose,
man.
mouth, and ears are all in the places they should
Well,
be.
yeah. I mean, you got a pretty normal looking wife too. So I guess
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks. That's good. That's a compliment.
I don't
Christian in Christian.
You,
land.
you called my wife normal looking. I mean, why would I take that as an offensive remark? You know,
No, nothing's offensive anymore.
I'm not offended by that.
No one should be. offended.
If you told me she looked like a freak, I'd be like, well, you know what?
That would
I
be
see
like if a model died and Francesca tweeted about her. She wasn't the prettiest. She was pretty normal looking. Rest in peace.
I used to go yank to Christy Brinkley. Okay, I never yanked to this girl. Okay.
She never made it to Paris, France for Fashion Week. Okay, but
I never put it in this. I never put it in the spank bank. Okay.
Okay, all right.
All right. So
Go
big episode this week. I'm very excited about this. In a couple of weeks. Now, SGR has been lucky as far as I know. He's never had COVID. Chris has had it
Twice. Nah, I've only had it once that I know of.
Like the weirdest thing, like I feel a lot better this week. Like I'm starting to really come around here, but like my voice is not holding up. It's like the strangest thing. Of all like the
I bet you your wife loves it.
No, she doesn't because she hates the way my voice just like it's like somebody pulls the volume up and down on it. And
That's
like,
annoying. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should just not talk.
Okay, so we're gonna try to get through the show as best as possible. Okay, right. So I'll let you handle the bookkeeping, and then we'll get into what we're gonna do today.
Okay, bookkeeping. All right. Obviously, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please take a second, subscribe to the show, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Anywhere you're listening right now, please take a second, subscribe to the show so that you are constantly updated when we release every week. If you're watching or not watching and want to watch, you can head over to YouTube, go over to the NyynewsTV channel, hit subscribe, smash that like button. We got a lot of big things coming up. We got a lot of big people joining the network. We got Ozzie Guillen and his sons. We got Chef Junior doing his own show. So pretty big things happening right now. And head over if you want to support the show, our show personally here, and help support us and get some bonus content. Head over to patreon.com/NYYST and become a patron. Bada bing, bada boom, done.
All right, so finally, the trivia episode is today. It will happen later on the show. I have 20 questions. We'll run through the rules before we get into the game here. But there's a couple other things I wanted to talk about today. Hall of Fame voting was released earlier in the week. David Ortiz is the only Hall of Famer for 2022. We'll get into that. And also the Yankees, I don't know who's in charge of this, announced that Carlos Beltran will be joining the booth this year for 36 games. And that's also something I wanted to talk about. The owners
Would you look at it?
The owners and players met this week. They're making progress, not fast enough for anybody. There was some concessions made on the players' part. Like I said, until we really get into the meat of this, where we're close to some sort of resolution, I don't really want to deep dive into it too much. Just just know that it feels like we're moving in the right direction. I think they're scheduled to speak at some point this coming week. So with spring training just a few weeks away, you feel like there's some momentum building towards getting this resolved. And even if you have to miss, like you said, Chris, like it's just like when pitchers and catchers report, it's the most important day of the year because nothing happens. Right. But it's just like that. It's just like that day that you look forward to, that you now know that baseball's on the horizon. If
you're a genuine baseball fan, you're waiting for that day because that signifies the start of when things are going to be happening.
So if that day is affected, I forget the official first day that the
13th, it's usually around
right around Valentine's Day. When the Yankees start playing games, I know their first scheduled day, it's split squad. If that gets, as long as March 30th is not affected, I'm okay with whatever they need to work out. As long as March 30th still happens and the Yankees are taking the field in Texas at 3:00, whatever it is, local time down there, I don't care how long it takes to get settled. Just don't fuck with March 30th.
Yeah, I guess that's the least we can ask for, right? Boone was actually questioned on it. He gave a brief statement the other day. Did you hear it?
No.
He asked, like, will you guys
start banging?
Yeah, I think so. It was kind of like,
we are going to start banging.
And that was it.
We're hopefully going to start banging
on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's where we're at with that. This is something I've been very vocal about on social media, and we'll just take a few minutes to talk about it on the show here because I feel like it warrants at least that. And David Ortiz was voted into the Hall of Fame by I believe 13 votes. I was the only person voted in the 2022 class. And it's not any. And here's my take on it. And I'll let you guys chime in and when I finish this point here. I've said this on the show before. I said it on social media. I'm not anti David Ortiz because he fucking crushed the Yankees. I'm anti David Ortiz in the Hall of Fame because nobody seems to want to take into account he did fucking steroids. Okay. David Ortiz was on the 2003 baseline testing or whatever. He failed that test. All right. And now he even admitted to it because he said that I don't know if you guys remember, he came out years later and said that he popped because they had to put a Red Sox on there because of all the Yankees that tested positive, right? So he even admitted that he tested positive. My issue with David Ortiz, it's because David Ortiz is, quote, a nice guy, and the writers are looking past what David Ortiz did, but they hold it against. And think about it. What do these guys have in common? Gary Sheffield should be in the Hall of Fame, 500 plus 100%. Votes. What's his issue? He's a prickly guy, right? Alex Rodriguez, fucking diva asshole, right? One of the greatest baseball players of all time, steroid user. We know that. He's been suspended for it.
Well, Sheffield had allegations as well.
He had allegations. Yes, he did. He was, I believe, the Balco stuff.
Yeah. So that there's also that. They were both. I mean, Sheffield was never. Correct me if I'm wrong. That friendly with the media. I think that's what you were. So he wasn't a nice enough guy to get past the allegations.
Barry Bonds, prickly personality, and we all know that he's the poster boy for steroids enhancing drugs.
Of course,
never tested positive. Okay, and the same thing with Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens has his own issues with a lot of different things. Again, not the nicest guy, and he's got the steroid allegations also that he has to deal with. If you take a look at all four of those guys and compare them to David Ortiz, they belong in the Hall of Fame head and shoulders above David Ortiz. But because of all the other external stuff surrounding them, they're being punished, and David Ortiz gets to get in. Now, I always made the point, because David Ortiz and Alex Rodriguez were on the same ballot, A-Rod has to get in. I don't care that he was suspended because, again, I don't care about steroids. It doesn't bother me because a lot of guys did steroids, and a lot of guys that did steroids don't belong in the Hall of Fame. You can't make the argument that Barry Bonds is only a Hall of Famer because of steroids. Because I believe I gave you guys the
Yes,
stat.
unbelievable stat.
If you take away every home run that Barry Bonds has hit in his career and converted them to outs, his on-base percentage is still higher than David Ortiz's career on-base percentage.
To be fair with that statistic, it's an incredible statistic. But to be fair, and I agree with you on the whole steroid thing, but to be fair on that statistic alone, if it weren't for the steroids and him hitting all those home runs, he wouldn't have as high of an on-base percentage because the guy fucking walked when the bases were loaded. He was intentionally walked.
Yeah,
So
I did have to intentionally walk him that one time.
Oh, yeah. Was that Buck?
That was me.
That was
me.
Buck.
Yeah,
That was
me.
Buck. Yeah, he got
back when I was
booed
with
for that
Arizona.
shit.
I don't have it right now.
So keep going. I just wanted to say.
So if you want it, a lot of people
Still an
say,
unbelievable stat.
A-Rod was suspended. He can't get in. Fine. You want to use that argument? It's stupid, in my opinion, because, again, I don't care about steroids. Just like Robinson Cano's not getting to the Hall of Fame, even though he deserves it, but he got suspended, I believe. Did he get suspended twice now?
Twice.
I think, well, now at that point, you're just dumb. Okay?
You're just dumb.
So
you're just an idiot. That's like Michael Pineda coming out with after the whole neck pine tar thing and him coming out with it just all over his fucking face.
Because like we said, how many guys have you known that have done something and they're not nearly they couldn't lace Barry Bonds' cleats?
Well, yeah. Okay? Just real quick, and I'm not going into my shit. I'm going to let you finish.
Okay.
But as much as Barry Bonds is the face of the era itself,
Okay.
A-Rod is the example because that's when they started cracking down, right? So
Yes.
So Bonds is the face of everything because of what he did, because of how successful he was at the end of his career. But A-Rod is the example set. They used him as the example of what they were going to do and how harsh they were going to start being, and he was the guy who led the way, and that was the suspension.
Two other guys that belong in the Hall of Fame, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. Okay?
Absolutely.
I don't think either of them were particularly that good. The numbers warrant it. I know Mark McGwire's got 580 career home runs, and Sosa, I believe, is over 600.
Is he over 6?
I mean, I believe so. I'll just look it up real quick.
Wow, I did not know that. Yeah, I mean, that's a joke.
Sammy Sosa has 609 career home runs.
That's crazy, dude. Even if you took away 109 career home runs, let's just say he hit 109 extra home runs because of PEDs. He's still a 500 home run guy.
And again, remember he had the cork bat?
Yeah, I remember that. That was genius.
Corker.
Loved it.
But again, when this was all going on, right? When this was all going on, did the commissioner turn a blind eye to it because it was helping the game?
Yes.
Okay, so
it was.
And now
who
these
was
guys,
it?
Bud.
You went bye.
Bud.
Who was it? Who brought it to everyone's attention in the players' union? Do you know?
Who?
I could be wrong. I believe it was Ken Caminiti.
Oh, again, Ken Caminiti, known steroid guy, does not belong in the Hall of Fame.
But I believe he's the one who stood up at the players' union meeting and said this needs to end. Bud Selig knows it's happening.
Yeah.
Everyone in baseball knows it's happening. And I believe he's the guy who stood up and said it and started this whole big thing. Or else we'd probably just still be in the same spot we were.
Honestly, guys want to do greenies. I don't care about this stuff.
Yeah, except it's just Adderall now.
I mean, maybe it makes me sound stupid, but I don't care that guys did steroids, okay? And you want to say morality clause. There's racists and murderers and rapists and the worst kind of people currently in the Hall of Fame. Just because somebody did steroids, they're not allowed in. And I had a tweet that took off a little bit during the week that I said that, Bonds, Clemens, A-Rod deserve to be in the Hall of Fame before David Ortiz. And people were like, well, Pete Rose. I couldn't honestly. Yeah, should the all-time baseball hit king be in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, sure he should be. But again, and this is why if you want to use the argument A-Rod was suspended and doesn't deserve to be in, I cannot completely fight you on it because the rules were in place that says you can't do steroids and A-Rod did steroids.
Correct.
And the same thing with Robbie Cano. Robbie Cano, you want to keep him out because there was a rule in place? No rules in place when Bonds, no rules in place with Clemens, no rules in place with McGwire, no rules in place with Sosa. So how are you penalizing these guys when there was no rules in place saying that you couldn't do it. But here's the thing about Pete Rose. What was it explicitly said that you cannot do?
Gambling.
On baseball in uniform, and he fucking did it. So I don't feel sorry for Pete Rose. So everybody that was responding like, oh, Pete Rose, again, there was a rule. It's like apples and walnuts. It's not comparable to me.
It's usually apples and oranges, people say, but besides the point.
Yeah, but you use a different analogy when it's much separated.
So you touched on a few things. Can I chime
if
in
you
here?
If you want to. Okay.
All right. So the first thing I'm going to say is that I'm not anti-David Ortiz at all. And I don't have any animosity towards him
no, I do. Fuck him.
Or anything for him getting in. Why? Because it's not his fault, right? Here's my problem with a lot of people in this world right now. We blame the people who are easiest to blame instead of holding the people who are truly accountable for this nonsense. So to be mad at David Ortiz is to take away from the fact that the writers have really ruined the honor of being a Hall of Famer. They really have it. And the beauty of being in the Hall of Fame, especially in baseball, is that these guys don't even think about it. I mean, they go through a whole career and it's the last thing on their mind. And then to get that honor is just to truly be at the height of everything that you put together in your career. And the writers have truly ruined that. Now, to get back to your point, of course, here's the thing. If David Ortiz is going to get in, then you have to let some of those other guys in too. And it's bullshit because what it's becoming is an opinion piece. It's becoming an opinion piece at this point. You know how certain things in the news are supposed to be just news and then others are op-eds? Mm-hmm. Well, that's what the Hall of Fame has become now. It's no longer voting on merit. It's voting on your opinion on what you think that person was and what morals and values they held. Well, and the problem with that is, to your point, let's just assume for a second that what's the douchebag's name on the Yankees? I try to block him out. That beat his girlfriend and then
Herman.
Let's just assume for a second Domingo Herman was a Hall of Fame pitcher. Let's just assume, and there was no allegations on steroids, nothing. Would they vote him in?
Depends on how nice he is.
No problem. Right? So if our moral high ground here is if you took steroids or not, and even if you did, as long as you were nice, we'll vote you in. Well, then why would anyone even care about being in the Hall of Fame anymore anyway? I mean, it's bullshit. Now, to the second one of your points, which I think is the best point of anything you said, is you're right. I never thought of it that way with Pete Rose. I never thought of it that way with Alex Rodriguez. But to sit here and not vote in guys who were doing things that weren't necessarily illegal in the game is absolute bullshit. And again, it's almost an arbitrary vote at this point. It's like, who do you like? Who was good enough for to be considered, and who do you like out of those people? To penalize Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa during those times is absolute garbage. It's absolute garbage.
Well, think about it like this. And to me, based on merit alone, Kurt Schilling is like right on the fence.
But he's a fringe guy.
We all know why he's not in the Hall of Fame, though.
Correct. He doesn't align with the values and morals and values of the writers.
And again, we're not taking sides here. We're not saying we agree or disagree with what Kurt Schilling says. A lot of what he says is stupid. Okay, I'll be the first to admit that. The problem is that the people voting on him are not voting on him based on what he did on the field. They're voting on him what he's done post-career, what he said on social media. And again, why are we taking moral? I mean, is this a museum for baseball players, or is this a museum of moral people with moral high ground?
Well, now it is,
because then take all the racists out of the because think about it.
Wasn't Honus Wagner like the biggest scumbag racist piece of shit ever?
Right. So take out all the guys that played in the 1920s that didn't want to play with black people. Yeah. Right. Take all them out.
Take them out.
You're right.
If you have a crime, if you committed a crime, you got to come out of the Hall of Fame. Then you're a bad person, right? If you committed a sexual offense against somebody, why you belong in the Hall of Fame? We should just start pulling these fucking people out then. If that's how you want to vote, go through everybody's history and just leave the good people in the Hall of Fame.
Well, didn't Jeff Passan tweet something?
I don't pay attention to him. Okay.
Pete told me he tweeted something like, Schilling deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but I just can't vote him in based on his views of the world or something.
Then you don't deserve a Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Vote, okay?
I agree with you.
If you want to tell me you don't, if you know what, if you can't pull the trigger because this, like, let's say, Joe Smith,
Andy Pettit.
No, let's just take. I don't want anybody to think we're accusing anybody of anything. So we'll just say Joe Smith has the most career wins. I know the win don't matter. Has the most career wins in the history of Major League Baseball, but he killed somebody, and you can't vote for him because he's a murderer.
He was a nice guy. Now, actually, Andy Pettit's an interesting case because not only is he a fringe Hall of Fame guy,
he's not.
But he's yeah, I think he is. I think he'll be. I think. Okay. So let's just say this: even if he's not a Hall of Fame guy, he will. Let's take out the steroids for a second, which I don't think are going to play a part in this anyway.
Okay.
He'll still get some votes. He won't be first ballot votes. He will eventually start to get some votes. Will his steroid use?
Andy Pettit's been on the ballot for years now.
He hasn't gotten any votes.
Yeah,
he's probably gotten the requisite to stay on. I know he's on the ballot this year, but I think you only need I could be wrong. I think you only need 5% of the vote to stay on.
3 to 5%. Yeah, but if
so
let's say he wasn't a fringe player, and he was an easy shoe-in Hall of Fame guy. Would his steroid use? You think so?
Yeah,
I don't think so because I think Andy Pettit was well loved.
He's a God-fearing man.
So I think that he would fall in the same category as Ortiz.
I don't know, man. Being religious, that might
not
be
good.
That could
You're right, Tim Tebow.
That could be a knock against him.
He handled it the best, I thought, out of any player that was.
My dad gave it to me because I had an injury.
Daddy. Yeah, and I was right about Ken Caminiti, by the way. He was the first person to speak up.
Oh, he called it. Good call.
So, I remember that story.
David Ortiz is a funny guy, makes everybody laugh, blah, blah, blah. But meanwhile, he was fucking a drug kingpin's wife and he got shot. So, I mean, how much of a good guy is he really?
Is that the whole story? Is that what happened?
Yeah, he was having an affair with a drug cartel leader's wife and then he got shot.
Is that has that been confirmed? I mean, regardless, I'm running with that story. I fucking
Kenny
love
Powers.
That's a great story.
Sounds like an episode of Eastbound and Down.
Yeah, look it up.
That's a great story. Wow.
But
you made one last point, I feel like, and I wanted to. Oh, you were comparing Pete Rose, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think it's become too. I don't want to use the word arbitrary because they're obviously voting somewhat on merit, obviously. But at the end of the day, it's an opinion piece. The Hall of Fame has become an opinion piece on if you hold the same values as the writers voting for you. Now, what would you do to change it, though?
There's no criteria that the voters have to vote on. Like, if a player has X number of home runs, you have to vote for him. Or a player has this. It's exactly right. It's the opinion of the writers. And what they're not doing is not taking the opinion of what happened on the field and saying, this player did enough on the field to get in. They're saying, well, he did this off the field. He didn't give me an interview one time, so I'm not voting for him. It seems to be everything external. With obviously, like guys like Rivera, Ken Griffey Jr., Derek Jeter, like you can't get away with keeping these guys out of the Hall of Fame, right? But these other guys, you can see that they're taking a stand against these players because of outside the white lines of the field.
Let me ask you one question. I'd like to think of things and try and form a solution. And obviously the solution to me 100% is take the writers out of it. Do you think we'll ever see a time where our society, our culture wakes the fuck up, says we need to right the wrongs of what the fuck's going on right now, and says maybe we should put together a board or even have the players in the union vote and make everything anonymous? I feel like if it were forced to be an anonymous vote, guys wouldn't be virtue signaling and not voting in certain players. You know how many writers, if they can get away, I know they can put in an anonymous vote, but any big time writer or reporter is obviously showing their ballot. Like everyone's waiting for it. If it were forced to be anonymous, do you think you'd see a lot more voters coming in for guys like Barry Bonds?
It's a real interesting point. It is.
Because how much of it is them actually saying, no, I cannot ever live. I can't sleep at night if I vote in, Roger Clemens, or how much of
just
it
that
is,
I don't want people to make fun of me on social media.
not make fun of. You know
think
what
of
me
mean,
as an evil human being. That's really what it comes down to, because that's what they're seen as.
I don't want to deal with the angry tweets that I voted for.
100%. So imagine now you have the MLB would have to make it pretty strict where you can't even make it public. That you would have to stay anonymous. I don't know if you can implement something like that. I don't know if you can force someone not to show their vote.
Why not? You could nullify
the problem. Yeah. Okay. So then maybe you can.
Honestly, I don't know, because there is a veterans committee. That's how guys like Harold Baines got in, which is a joke. I mean, if Barry Bonds, what's the validity of the Hall of Fame when Harold Baines is in there, but not Barry Bonds?
Right.
Okay. So if you want to say that I don't know how many writers vote. I honestly don't, but whatever the number is, right? And you want to say that you're going to have a X number person committee, like people that have played 15 years in Major League Baseball, they're on a committee. We vote that however they get to be picked, they're in there. Whoever the union rep for each team is, they get a vote. How do you get? Let's say there's 100 writers. I don't know that's the number. I'm just saying. Let's say that there's 100 writers that get to vote every year, and that's how they get you get to the point, right? So you want to say that there's 30 teams, 30 union reps, and then 70 veterans guys, right? Let them vote and let them decide, because they played along with these guys,
right?
Or these are the guys that paved the way for them. Let them vote and let them decide whether or not they want steroid users in the Hall of Fame. That's how I would because again, that term virtue signaling for these writers, it fits. It really does.
100%. So I think there is a solution to it. I just don't think we'll ever wake up enough to see it. And I think that's I think it's a real issue as far as the integrity. Everyone talks about the integrity of the sport. I mean, at the end of the day, what's the highest peak you can absolutely climb? And that's being granted a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. And now it's just, who cares anymore? It's just like MVP at this point, after shit like Altuve gets it over Judge. It's like, what, because he's a fucking Yankee? I mean, all of this is just, how much power do the writers have and why? I mean, I understand that they're the guys interviewing these people and they're paid to report on them, but why do they hold such power over who wins what? It's just fucking idiotic to me.
Right. So
are other sports that way, by the way? Like in the NFL, is it the same way?
Honestly, I'm sure writers. I don't want to say I'm sure. I don't know, because I don't pay attention to other Hall of Fames
to find out
the way that I pay attention to the what do you call it?
MLB,
yeah. So again, this is because part of that tweet that I had, I was getting, because you're a Yankee fan, you don't want David Ortiz. No, it has nothing to do with that, because I legitimately don't care that David Ortiz is a Red Sox. I legitimately don't care that David Ortiz did steroids. His numbers warrant him being in the Hall of Fame. I watched enough David Ortiz over those 10 years or whatever it was that I'm scarred for fucking life. He was the most feared hitter I've ever had as an opponent. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So just to compare this with how football does it the way, Chris, that you're kind of saying would be a good way to do it. I'll just read
this. They have a committee of former players, right? I thought so, but I didn't want to say
Football Hall of
anything.
Fame they have a 49-person selection committee that's in charge with selecting the Hall of Fame. It consists of one media representative from each pro football city, with 2 from New York and 2 from Los Angeles. There are 17 at-large selectors who are active members of the media or persons intricately involved in professional football. And then the other ones are 15 modern era player nominees, 1 coach nominee, and one contributor. I don't fucking know.
That's great though. I mean, isn't that the way to do it? You blend all different types of people who were a part of those eras or a part of or part of the sport. Because if you're looking at it
for each city, the media is nice too.
Right. I mean, you can't do it much better than that.
Because you have to think having of course when I turn it off on my phone, but you have to think having the representative from each city is that's the best person to have because they're the ones that are doing this.
I have no problem with that. If you want to put 30 writers in, one from each market, that's fine. And along with the players, I think that would be a good balance. But to leave it all up to the writers I don't like that.
Yeah, something's got to change.
Because in the age of social media, maybe it wasn't a problem back then. But again, it was because think about all these guys, these icons, these Mount Rushmore type players of the sport that didn't get into the Hall of Fame on the first try because the writers were like, well, so-and-so didn't get 100 or guys like Mickey Mantle he wasn't, well, I'm not voting for him because Joe DiMaggio didn't get 100% of the vote. What kind of fucking logic is that?
Mm-hmm. Well, think about all the shit Mickey Mantle did. I mean, he wasn't doing drugs, performance enhancing drugs that we know of, but I mean, the dude was so sore he'd get loaded before a game.
I mean,
the opposite of performance enhancing. That's what he was doing.
Like when Al Strawberry and Dwight Gooden would do lines of fucking coke. Yeah. I can't imagine being playing professional baseball yacked up.
Doc and Strawberry didn't even, or at least Doc, I know, didn't even make it to the Mets World Series parade or the Yankees World Series parade. Whichever one it was.
Yeah. So again, like I said, it's not really like
dude, mute
yourself. You got so much COVID left in you, dude.
I do.
I'm concerned about you
leaking.
Yeah. COVID.
You should have worn the masks.
I should. I'm actually having an appointment with Dr. Choxy tomorrow.
Nice. For any of you who don't know, that's the guy in between every Yankee inning, in between every at bat. He talks about getting vaccinated.
I think anybody listening to this show probably knows who Dr. Choxy is.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, again, this is not like, I don't want people thinking like I'm attacking David Ortiz because it's a Red Sox thing. I'm attacking David Ortiz because he doesn't belong in ahead of these other guys.
So why is that his fault? Why are you attacking him?
I'm not, but I'm just
attacking the writers.
I'm signaling him out because I don't like the way that he got it. I don't like the way that he got in.
But that's not his fault. It's the writer's fault and no one else's. David Ortiz did not change the votes.
I don't care that he's in the Hall of Fame.
No, I understand that. Neither do I. What I'm saying to you is you're not attacking David Ortiz at all. You just think it's bullshit that he got in over other people. That's not his fault. You're attacking the writers, whether you want to say you are or not.
Okay.
You're attacking the assholes who voted for him and not some other guys who deserved it.
Wow. Yeah, because David Ortiz, granted them in an interview and made them, he said
he invited them over for wine and cheese at his fucking.
He said fuck after the Boston bombing, so we have to vote for him.
I'm not making that at all.
I'm not making light of that situation. And it was a terrorist attack, and he stood up for the city of Boston. But I've heard people say that speech is one of the reasons why he got in.
That speech was phenomenal until he threw an F-bomb out. And I'm all about F-bombs, but it just wasn't the time.
Yeah, there's a time and a place for stuff like that. So unless you guys ain't got anything else you want to kind of talk about the Hall of Fame, we can move on to the Yankees. Broadcast booth this year. So in case you've been living under a rock, David Cohn got the Sunday Night Baseball job. So he's going to cut down the amount of games that he's doing for Yes. I think he did about 100 last year. He said he's going to be doing about 50 now. So that also means that, and people are not talking about this, but it also means Michael Kay is going to be doing less games because Sunday Night Baseball is going to take the route of Monday Night Football, and they're going to have a Manning cast, for lack of a better term, with A-Rod and Michael Kay, which I don't know how the fuck anybody is going to be able to sit through that. Okay?
So A-Rod's still a part of this?
Yes.
Oh God, this is going to be brutal. Doesn't Kay fucking hate A-Rod?
Yeah, but you don't have to watch it because Carl Ravitch and Cohn are calling the game on ESPN, and on ESPN2 they're doing like the Manning thing with A-Rod
so
and
Kay's
Michael
not
Kay.
even on the
Right.
national broadcast on ESPN.
No.
No.
Oh wow, wow.
So
That
we know
shit.
I personally loved Kenny Singleton. I really did.
Yes.
But he's done. He retired. Okay, so we know that. As far as we know, Paul O'Neill should be back. Hopefully he'll be actually at games this year, not in his basement.
That's right.
And again, I know a lot of people knock O'Neill because he doesn't give a fuck about analytics and he just wants to sit there and talk about the game and,
It's refreshing.
you know, and tell stories about his time. That's why I like Paul O'Neill, because
It's refreshing, man.
I don't want to hear, his WOBA or his XFIP, or what I want to hear is, well, you know, when I used to face a tough lefty, this is what I used to do. And it comes across credible because this guy
To be
was part
fair,
of
though, Michael Kay's not huge in the analytics either.
Yeah, but
I
we'll
think
get
they
to him.
actually, David Cohn is, but at least it's a fair balance on yes. I'd say they just.
And here's
their
the thing with
voices
David
just
Cohn.
annoy me.
Here's the thing with David Cohn is he likes the analytics, but he doesn't shove them down your throat.
Yeah.
He weaves them into the
To be
conversation in a way that where you want to understand what he's saying.
Right.
Whereas like it's not obnoxious.
Right. I agree with that.
So then you also probably have Flaherty coming back. I mean, if you ever needed to, if you're an insomniac and ever needed to go to sleep, I mean, just listen to John Flaherty call a game.
Oh.
And, so the Yankees had a couple openings, and one of them was filled this past week with Carlos Beltran. He's going to be calling 36 games, which matches his uniform number as the Yankee. I don't know if that was coincidental or on purpose, but what's your take on Carlos Beltran that he's going to be in the booth now?
I got to be honest with you. I don't know Carlos Beltran enough, just hearing him speak about the game, to even give a fair opinion on it, because here's what I'll say. I mean, I'd have to imagine Carlos Beltran is a brilliant baseball guy. I mean, I think that's always been the take on him. So I think he'll do a great job. I just feel like there were some other people out there that could have been better. And I think you tweeted it, and I got to give you credit because I wasn't even thinking this until you tweeted it. Nick Swisher would have been a fucking phenomenal pick if he were up for it.
Cameron Maybin is also up for, because the Yankees are still going to have to fill more games out, I believe. I think Cameron Maybin is still in consideration to take some games. He just recently retired. Well-spoken guy. We'll see how it translates into being an analyst. But look, as a Yankee fan, right? And I understand that this hasn't always been the case, but it's been more so the case recently. You want guys that played for the team doing the color commentary. You want to have that connection with the color analyst, that he was a guy that you watched play for this team and has some credibility when he speaks about the organization. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem. Maybin was here for a cup of coffee. He was very popular. He outkicked his coverage in terms of what he should have done on the field. If they want to bring him in, I don't have a problem with that. Beltran was here for, a year and a half, 2.5 years.
What years was he here?
He got traded in 16, so I believe. Yeah, I think he came
was that
in
late?
13 to 16?
He was part of the rebuild. He got traded in 2016. I'm not sure when he signed. I'm not even positive. He had to have been on the.
Why do I keep thinking he was a guy that was here, left, came back?
No, because he was with the Mets, probably. And because famously, there's a story out there that when he was a free agent and went to the Mets, he was with Boris, and he told Boris before he signed the contract with the Yankees that with the Mets, that he wanted to see what the Yankees were going to offer him, and they didn't, because I think they had just re-signed Bernie Williams. So he came here in 2014, played 2015, and then he was traded in 2016. So
that's all he was here for?
Yeah, so he wasn't here very long. Like you said, Carlos Beltran is well respected. I'm sure he's going to bring in good insight to the broadcast booth. I just don't know. He was always described as a quiet guy, and I don't know if that's what I'm looking for in terms of somebody on the broadcast. Now, I said this, K X's and O's wise is very good at what he does. I just can't fucking listen to him anymore.
Well, he says
I really
the same
can't
thing over and over again.
And my problem with Michael K, I'm not stupid, right? I'm college educated. I know a decent amount of words. My problem is that when I'm watching fucking baseball, I don't need to feel like I'm taking a fucking SAT prep course when I'm watching a baseball game. Okay, I want as basic words given to me as possible, because what I'm doing, and this is what, because we always say this, right? This show is like sitting around with your buddies, drinking beer, talking baseball, and that's what I want out of my broadcast. I don't want it to be, Aaron Judge has been in such a slump, and he uses adjective number 17 out of the SAT prep course book to describe his slump. And not, like I know what you're saying, but I don't want to fucking hear it. Just tell me that Aaron Judge has been in a terrible slump because he's 2 for his last 23. He seems to be flailing at the outside pitch. He's not recognizing the curveball out of the hand. Tell me that shit. Don't fucking tell me words that you learn at fucking Fordham, because I don't care. It's not what I'm watching baseball for. I'm not watching baseball to get smarter at fucking words, okay?
Well, I sure as hell am. And the fallacy of the predetermined outcome could alter, could really fuck up if he changes his words. So,
and I'm not a big Ryan Rucco fan, right? I'm really not. I think
Rucco does a great job when he.
I think he's a little.
Rucco.
I think he's a little too over the top, and I think because if I had never heard him on the R2C2 podcast, I might think of him differently. But the way he is on that show is like kind of turned me off to him. But I think the Yankees, and maybe they will, because if Kay is going to take less games because of the Sunday Night Baseball gig, I think the Yankees should lean on him for a little bit more, because he has this youthful exuberance that is needed in the booth. I need somebody to be energetic and lively and seem like they're enjoying what the fuck they're doing, because through all Rucco's faults, I feel that come through the TV when I watch him, or I should say when I listen to him, and that's why. It might be like giving a 4-year-old like a fucking pound of pixie sticks, but him and Swisher, I think that would be, and you don't want to overdo it. Maybe you want to do it like 25, 30 times a year. I think that would be a phenomenal listen on a limited basis of two guys that are very energetic and enthusiastic to sit there and call a baseball game. Like, I don't want to be bored to fucking tears listening to guys call baseball. And like, I know for a fact that if Rucco and Swisher did games together, the one thing you would not be is fucking bored listening to them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I got to give Beltran the benefit of the doubt until he proves me wrong.
Yeah.
Until he proves otherwise.
Remember all that too with the pitch tipping stuff. He was one of those guys that kind of told the Yankees what
was going on. He's a very smart baseball guy.
And so that's an element that he could bring where he's really dissecting games and able to have.
I really think the Beltran hire is to replace what you're missing from Cone throughout the season, because I essentially think you're going to get the same type of brilliant mind, and not so much from a pitching perspective, but as a hitter.
Yeah, but the difference is that between Cone and Beltran is a married, religious guy. So you're not going to get the stories of like, me and Boomer.
But then we didn't go home.
We didn't go home because we were coked out of our minds after my no-hitter.
Oh man, Coney.
So, I just wanted to touch on that because it was in the news a little bit, and I'm trying to, and I don't want to disrespect Flaherty, because again, if you listen to him X's and O's wise, he's a smart guy. And as a backup catcher, like
remember we met him? Were you with me?
I didn't.
No, that wasn't you. That was my buddy Gibbs.
My buddy Gibbs. Okay. So it's not like he's he doesn't know what he's talking about, because he does. It's just that he's very bland in how he delivers it. So you hope that in that respect that that Carlos Beltran's a very smart baseball guy. You just hope that he has a little bit of personality while he's doing the game. Like Buck Showalter, I could fucking listen to Buck Showalter talk about baseball until my ears fell off. He was so good at explaining the game and talking to you on a level where that you didn't need to be a major league manager to understand what he was saying to you. So I don't know, man. Like if we're gonna get a fucking half-ass baseball team where I don't know,
where we're relying on the fucking broadcasters to
I would at least
to
like
keep
to be
us excited.
Yeah, I would like to at least be entertained.
That's true.
By the guys calling the game, and if you want to even,
I don't think you're gonna get that at a Beltron. I'll tell you that right now.
And I don't know if there's a woman out there that's qualified for it. Throw her in the fucking booth too. Let's go.
Hey, let me tell you something. When I first listened to Susan Waldman on the radio, it was very awkward. I wasn't used to hearing a woman commentate. And over time, it wasn't the fact that I wasn't used to a woman commentating. She just always kind of annoyed me. But up until now, I've learned her backstory. She was the first voice ever heard on WFAN. She's been a pioneer throughout for WFAN. I fucking love Susan Waldman. If they threw her in the broadcast booth, I wouldn't mind at all.
I did hear something that FAN was trying to cut back on the number of games they did. They were going to try to assimilate some other people into the booth. I love John Sterling. I love Susan Waldman, but it is time.
Wow.
It is time.
Yeah.
Especially if these guys are not, especially if they're not going to let them travel again. If you want to let him do the home games where he's there, he can see what the fuck is going on. That's
He
fine.
still can't.
He still can't.
Yeah, but he was a lot better at home where it was.
When he called the judge replay, but he didn't realize those are.
Yeah.
I don't blame
he did
him
that
for that,
6
though.
times, dude. He did.
He did that.
Though.
He did that. He did that a
6
bunch of times.
John,
That's
we love
tough when you're
you.
not-
We love you, John, and you're a legend. But it's time to just
Get the fuck out!
I don't know. You want to be that harsh to him, or you want to just like
He
kind
probably
of
wouldn't even know what you were saying. He'd probably laugh and walk.
ease him into the. Well,
Hey,
when we
John
called
did
him
our
for that
show,
interview-
and I'll always respect him on a different level for that.
Where do you know me from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris was like, well, we met at a brunch.
Yeah, we met at no, he went to brunch.
Oh, we met
Let's
at
just-
brunch.
For
All
anyone
right.
who's a newer listener or watcher of the show.
This is our 100th episode.
So we had John
fresh.
Sterling. We had John Sterling on for our 100th episode, and it was just classic Sterling. Everything you would imagine from the guy you get in the booth to it just completely manifested itself in real world in real time. We call him when we're scheduled to do the interview, and he goes, and the first I think I still have the recording somewhere. He goes, "Oh, well, I have a brunch. I have a brunch that popped up on my schedule. Can you call me back after?" And we had to wait. What did we do? Sit around and fucking bullshit for an hour and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's kind of nerve wracking. It was like our first really big interview.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's that. Unless you guys got anything else you want to talk about.
Nah, man,
it's-
I'm pumped.
It's time for Chris to lose. Any new listeners or viewers of the show, we've done games like this in the past. Chris has never won in the 5+ year history of the NYYST.
My time
podcast.
is due.
One of the most famous instances of this show is the punch on the pod when Chris got. Well, that actually had nothing to do with a game we played. You were just trying to get reviews on iTunes.
Yes. And I just said, all we wanted was 10 punch on the pod reviews.
Oh, right.
And within a minute of the show being released, we had like 100. I was like, wow, people really want to see me get punched.
All right, so basically here, we'll get into the game here. My wife bought me this Yankees trivia book for Christmas, and I said to myself, we can use this for the show. So we've been planning it, and I was sick and blah blah blah. So now, finally got down, picked out 20 questions from the book. We're gonna answer them. Chris and Ryan, it's brother versus brother. It's like how we like to do it on the show. Is brother versus brother.
Brothers from
Right?
different mothers.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
all right. All right. Yeah, I'm adopted.
So here are the rules of the
I'm
game. Now, there's something at stake here. The last time that we did, trivia was actually it was guess this player, I believe. When I came up with
That
three
was great.
clues.
Those were great.
Yeah, I might.
Right.
I think maybe we might bring that back. That might be the show before we do Fred this year. Maybe we'll do that
love
again.
Fred shows. Love Fred.
So, Chris never. I believe the bet was either you had to shave half your head or dye half your
No,
head.
dye half my head.
You never did it.
No one ever
What?
brought me the die.
No one ever brought the Clippers because you can't just do it yourself. You need somebody to do it for you. All right.
Okay.
You ever right? What was the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yeah.
Masturbation, play with yourself. Mutual masturbation, play with a friend.
What was
Remember
that?
that?
No.
Remember when he takes the girlfriend's daughter to the sex ed
Oh
class?
yeah.
Yes. When he whispers it to her.
That movie's so underrated.
Yeah, I should watch that again.
I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So Chris never paid his end of the bet off. So now what's at stake here is if Chris loses, he has to wear a face mask that says, I love Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Go Fauci yourself.
For 3 weeks, 3 consecutive shows, Chris has
Oh
got to
my
wear this
God.
face mask.
I can't.
But if Ryan loses, his shirt, he has to wear a shirt just for one episode that says something to the effect of, I have to go yank. We'll figure out the exact terminology of it if he should lose, which he's not going to because I gave him all the answers already.
Probably.
This is the problem, though, is that Chris also thinks every time Ryan wins is because I've given Ryan the answers.
Yeah,
not that Chris is just not.
Thanks for making me fucking...
Because
Just wait,
Chris is
dude.
just-
I'm gonna
just
fucking
is not
murder
good.
this. So
right.
before you keep going, I gotta say, I gotta give you credit, and I hate to do this. Phenomenal rules. You came up with phenomenal rules for this trivia. I think it's very intriguing. And also I gotta say, anyone watching this, you're not watching live, you're just watching a premiere. So if you want to shoot off the answers in the chat, feel free to shoot off the answers in the chat because we're not seeing any of them in real time.
Right.
So all the trivia in the book is multiple choice. So here are the rules. Ready? 20 questions. Before the question is read, the player chooses whether they want to hear the multiple choice or have a free guess. Okay? If you choose multiple choice, the question is worth 1 point. If you choose free guess, question is worth 3 points. But if you choose to do the free guess and
Open
you're
answer.
wrong, open answer. Fine, you want to use that one? If you open answer, if you choose open answer and you're wrong, the other player gets to have an opportunity to answer that question for 2 points. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So we also have
multiple choice. There's no steals.
There's no steals with multiple choice.
So I hope you wrote
Okay.
down like at least 40 questions.
I have 20 questions here. Why would I write down 40?
It's just 20 questions. Whoever has the most points wins.
Yeah, right. And okay. All right. You have 15 seconds to answer the question from when I finish reading it. I can repeat it one time upon request. Most points wins. Now, don't do the thing that you like to do.
Wait, hold on. Read it again.
And start calculating shit in your head. Okay? Because once you know that you've lost, you're going to quit. And I will like to get through all 20 questions. Okay?
Fine.
Okay? Now, we have to decide who's going to go first. And here's how we're going to do it. Since you're not allowed to fucking Google anything, okay?
Okay.
I will let you get your Googling out of the way right now.
Google.
Shout out the answer. Whoever is correct, whoever shouts it out first, gets to go first, okay?
Okay.
The question that I'm going to ask you has nothing to do with baseball,
Okay.
okay? Here, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as I read it, as soon as I'm finished, I have to finish giving you the
All right,
question.
yeah, you better not
First
look it up
person-
until he finishes looking.
First person that shouts it out,
Wait, you can't look it up until he's done asking the question?
I have to finish asking the question before you answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Last night was the WWE Royal Rumble. Who won the Women's Royal Rumble match?
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
Chris wins. Okay, Chris gets to go first. All right,
I did
Ronda
the
Rousey.
microphone and
Oh, that was great. That's smart, dude.
I'm using my brain already, baby.
Yeah. No.
All right, Ronda
Can I
Rousey.
defer? Is this like NFL? Can I defer?
Why would you want to defer?
I don't
Please
want to.
defer.
I was just asking.
All right, ready? Here we go. Ronda Rousey with her first match back after having a child, and she won the Royal Rumble.
Congrats.
Because it's
All
scripted.
right. And people were breaking their TVs after Brock Lesnar won last night. So it just goes to show you what kind of fucking maniacs are out there. Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Now, question number 1. You're up first.
This is where I'm going to lose. I'm telling you right now because I'm going to choose pretty much all of them. I want open-ended. I'm going to start. I'm going to start with my balls on the floor, and I'm going to say open-ended.
All right, ready? Here we go. 15 seconds starts after I finish reading the question.
Okay, Alex.
You want open-ended, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where were the Yankees originally founded? What city were, I'll rephrase that. What city were the Yankees originally founded?
Brooklyn.
Incorrect. Ryan, you have a chance to steal. What city were the Yankees originally founded?
This is more than 15 seconds.
Manhattan.
Incorrect. The Yankees were originally founded in Baltimore.
Really?
Yes.
They became the Highlanders?
They were originally the Baltimore Orioles, became the New York Highlanders, and then
I did not know that. I thought it was the other way.
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
All right, Ryan, you were up.
Great first question.
Question number 2. Who famously...
Wait, hold on. I got to choose, right, if it's open-ended or not.
Sorry, yes.
But I will go open-ended, so go.
You're going to go open-ended. Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan's
Hold on,
going
time out.
open-ended here.
Does the steal also get 15 seconds? Because that was like 30.
No, it wasn't.
That was 15 seconds.
It was 15 seconds. I'm
Okay.
fucking timing it. Okay? You can go back and watch the timestamps.
No, okay. It's fine.
All right, question number 2. You want to go open-ended, right, Ryan?
Oh, he intercepted it. Yeah, open-ended.
All right. Who famously said, I want to thank the good Lord for making me a Yankee?
Lou Gehrig.
Incorrect. Chris, do you
Joe
want to hear the question?
DiMaggio.
Fuck, I always get them mixed up.
Chris gets 2 points. Joe DiMaggio said, I want to thank the good Lord. I need to get a new...
That was a soft... Christian knew I was going to go first. And that was a fucking toss-up. That was a fucking softball.
I always...
Holy shit. Holy shit.
I'm such an ass.
I guarantee you. I'll let him put his fucking
Hey,
headphones
so I
back
dropped
in.
my fucking iPad. Did you
Hold
really
on.
think that...
Hold on.
that
I
do a
guarantee you, if I won the toss-up to go first, that was my first question. But if Ryan won it, you would have given him that question first.
I can... Look, you did.
No,
but
it's
I can
okay.
show
You
you-
That's okay, I
always
believe
have
you.
to. You always have to
Always-
discredit.
This is how I get into your heads, though. You
And
see?
it's
All right.
not, hasn't worked every time, so maybe you should think of a new
Oh,
strategy.
shit.
That's true, dog.
Oh, shit.
You're a mess.
All right. So question number
So
2.
Chris got 2 points there.
Chris stole. He
Yes.
gets 2 points. Okay, ready?
That was
I'm going
so
open-ended
stupid.
again. Going
Chris is
open-ended.
going open-ended. Ready? What year was Derek Jeter named captain of the New York Yankees?
2007.
Incorrect. Ryan, would you like to hear the question again?
No,
What is your answer?
I wouldn't say it's 2005 because they wouldn't have done it the year
No,
after they
we're
lost.
no, come on. We're not working.
I'm
through it
going
like
with.
that.
We'll go with 2006.
Incorrect. Derek Jeter was named
No.
captain in 2003.
Wow. I didn't think it was that early. All right. Ride dog. SGR.
Ryan is up. Ryan, do you want open-ended or do you want multiple choice?
Open-ended.
How many of his career home runs did Babe Ruth hit as a Yankee?
Now is the winner is whoever gets this right, whoever's closest, or we have to get
No,
the
you have
exact
to.
number?
You have to guess. That's why you take the risk of multiple choice versus open-ended. I will start your clock again. You have 10 seconds to answer.
588.
Incorrect. Chris, do you want to try to steal?
Of course.
How many career home runs did Babe Ruth hit as a Yankee?
602.
659 is the correct answer.
Damn, I was going to
Nobody.
say 655. Damn.
I guess the Rams have won.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over, dude.
Rams Bengals in the Super Bowl.
I'm going bangs all the way.
All right, we're on question number 5 here. Who's up? That's Chris.
That's me, man.
Open-ended or multiple choice?
I'm going to stick with open-ended, man.
right,
Unless you
which-
keep throwing these fucking ones out that are tough like that, which is good, because then we're going to start to think about multiple choice.
Yeah.
Which pitcher has the most career? Excuse me. Let me rephrase this. Which pitcher has the most strikeouts in franchise history?
Louisiana Lightning. I don't know.
Incorrect. Chris, Ryan, do you want to hear the question?
So was
again?
that his guess? What was his guess? Just now?
Motherfucker, I know it now. He just popped in my head.
His guess was Ron Guidry. So do you want to hear it again, or do you want to guess?
I know it.
No, it's just no. Let me guess. It's one of these two guys. It's either Whitey Ford or Sparky Lyle, I think. So I'm going Sparky Lyle.
Whitey Ford, I was going to say.
Whitey
Andy
Ford.
Pettit.
Really?
Wow.
Andy Pettit has the most career strikeouts in franchise history.
Wow.
All right, who's up? Is this SGR?
All right, I'm up. Give me a
SGR.
multiple choice. Go multiple choice.
Smart.
SGR is going multiple choice. Okay, in 2014, San Diego traded this player to the Yankees. In 2017, the Yankees traded this player back to San Diego. Your choices are A, Yangervis Solarte, B, Sean Kelly, C, Chase Headley, or D, Chad Godin. What is your answer?
Chase Headley.
Chase Headley is correct. Ryan has a
damn.
point.
I would have gotten that without it.
I know. See, he's good though. He's good.
Nah, that was
he
good.
Switched these
It's
up
exactly
a lot.
like you said. Exactly like you said.
All right, Chris, you're up. Do you want open-ended or multiple choice?
Give me open-ended, dude. I'm a risk taker.
Open-ended. In 2002, the Yankees lost their first-round pick to Oakland as compensation for signing this free agent.
Hideki Matsui.
No. When did Hideki Matsui ever play for the fucking A's?
What? What do you
Did
mean?
you listen to the question at all?
Oh my God.
Ryan, do you want to hear the question?
Yeah, say it again.
In 2002, the Yankees lost their first-round pick to the A's as compensation for signing this free agent.
Jason Giambi.
Yes.
Correct. Ryan gets 2 points.
Cheetah.
Fucker.
Took the lead.
All right, Ryan, you're up, right?
Yeah.
3-2.
Open-ended. I told you not to fucking count along because you're just going to quit at the end.
No, I'm not. It's close.
All right, ready? Ryan, do you want open-ended or multiple choice?
No, give me multiple choice.
I didn't understand
All right.
the question, by the way, but now I do.
That's your problem, not mine.
Actually, wait. Can I switch that to open-ended?
Sure, I'll let you.
You can if that,
Yes.
is that your final answer?
Yes, open-ended, please.
All right, you said multiple choice first. If Chris wants to dispute it, then he can dispute
Absolutely
it. I'll let him
not.
have that.
I will give him open-ended. He didn't hear the
wasn't
question.
asked. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so do you want multiple? You want multiple?
Open-ended.
choice, you said, right?
Open-ended.
You want
Open-ended.
Open-ended. All right. When in college, Dave Winfield was arrested for stealing what?
Fuck, I should have done multiple choice. When in college, he stole. He stole a
2 seconds.
statue. He stole a statue.
He did not. Chris, do you want to hear the question again?
No. Teammate's glove.
No, that was
How did he get
surprisingly
arrested for
that he did not. He stole a snowblower.
Really?
Probably wouldn't have guessed that one in a multiple choice.
That's why you take multiple choice. I mean, at least you would have heard it.
Yeah.
All right, Chris is up, right? We're on question number 9. We're almost halfway through here.
Okay.
Chris, open-ended or
Open-ended,
multiple?
dude.
You want
Open-ended.
open-ended?
Come on.
All right. Which Yankee was the first athlete to appear on a Wheaties box?
Mickey Mantle.
Incorrect. Ryan, do you want to try to steal?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the question again?
Yeah.
Which
What would be
Yankee
the
was
what would hold on? What would be the downside to trying to steal? Nothing.
to save fucking time? All right, so Ryan, which Yankee was the first athlete to appear on a Wheaties box?
Roger Clemens.
Roger Maris.
Incorrect. Did you know Lou Gehrig died of Lou Gehrig's disease?
Wow, Lou Gehrig? Wheaties
Yep.
been around that long?
Joe DiMaggio.
Wow.
It's Lou Gehrig. Okay. So
right.
whose turn is
SGR.
Ryan's up, right?
My turn.
All right,
Let's go multiple
open-ended.
choice.
Multiple choice. All right, here we go. Which former Yankee holds the major league record for most career grand slams? Is it A, Derek Jeter, B, Alex Rodriguez, C, Babe Ruth, or D, Mickey Mantle?
A-Rod.
It is A-Rod. Ryan gets a point.
I wouldn't have guessed that though if it was
Yeah.
open-ended. So
I don't think I would have either, but the second I heard his name.
All right.
Now
We're halfway.
I have to go open-ended.
We're halfway through here. We're down to the last 10 questions.
If
you want
SGR didn't get that question, I was going to go multiple choice, but I'm going open-ended, man.
All right. So you want open-ended here.
Fuck. Come on.
Which Yankees starting pitcher holds the club record for most strikeouts in a game?
Ron Guidry.
Okay. Ron Guidry. Chris with a 3-pointer. Bang.
oh
Right there.
yeah, that 20 strikeout game.
It's 18.
1989? Was that 1989?
1978, I believe. When he had.
Yeah, 78. Yeah.
All right, Ryan, you are up. Would you like open-ended or multiple choice?
So the score right now is
5
No one gives a
5 for me.
all right. Then give me multiple choice. Let's tie this bad
All
boy.
right. All right, multiple choice. The 2009 World Series MVP was A, Derek Jeter, B,
Hideki Matsui.
I should disqualify you for not letting me read all the.
I mean, I should disqualify myself for not doing open-ended. The two
All right,
I've gotten
ready?
right.
All right, we're tied.
No.
We're tied.
All right,
Again,
Ron.
if you didn't get that question right, I was going to go multiple choice just to try and gain another. I'm going to go open-ended.
All right,
Now
you want
I'm gonna have to go
open-ended?
open-ended if you get this.
Chris, you want open-ended?
Open-ended, dude. Open it
In
the fuck up.
In 1999, the New York Yankees lost one game in the postseason. In their World Series clinching victory in Game 4, who started the game on the mound for the Yankees?
Andy Pettit.
Incorrect. Ryan, who started Game 4 of the World Series when the Yankees clinched the World Series?
El Duque.
It is incorrect. Roger Clemens started Game 4 of the World Series in 1999. Okay. We're moving on here. We're on
All
question
right.
4. Who's up, Ryan?
Yeah.
Ryan.
Open-ended. babes.
Open-ended? Okay. Excuse me.
Let's
please.
end it with the open-ended.
Yeah.
The Yankees have played the Dodgers in how many World Series?
Eight.
Incorrect. Chris?
2.
No, they played each other 11 times in the World Series.
11? Damn.
Fuck.
All right, here we go.
What do I do here, man?
Losing a lot of credibility. As
What
a Yankee
question are we on?
podcast. This is question number 15.
Give
Open-ended.
me open-ended. This might be my last
Open-ended.
open-ended.
The first Yankee to win the Cy Young Award was, without multiple choice, you'll never get this. But go ahead.
Don Larson?
Incorrect. Ryan, who was the first Yankee to
Dude,
win?
I think I know this. It's fucking Lefty Gomez.
It is not Lefty Gomez. Bob Turley was the first Yankee to win a Cy Young Award.
Damn.
That would have given us a little bit of credibility.
That would have been great if you got that. I would have been pissed.
Damn.
All right, who's up here?
SGR.
Your boy's up and I'm going multi.
Multiple choice. What holiday did the luckiest man speech take place on? Is it Memorial Day, B, 4th of July, C, Labor Day, or D, Halloween?
4th of July.
It is correct. 4th of July was when
Dude,
the luckiest man
everyone I've
speech.
gotten right, I've known.
All right.
Obviously.
Without the multiple choice.
multiple
All right,
choice.
Ron.
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice. The Yankees have only had 2 number 1 picks in their history. In 1967 was the first one of those picks. Who did the Yankees draft number 1 overall? Was it A, Mel Stoudemire, B, Joe Pepitone, C, Horace Clark, or D, Ron Bloomberg?
C. Horace Clark.
Incorrect.
Mel
It
Stoudemire.
It was Ron Bloomberg. You fucking
Really?
jerk off.
Wow.
We had him on the show and we even discussed it.
Did we?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Damn. What an asshole.
All right, we have
man.
3 questions left. SGR is up.
You
Would
could put
you
it in
like-
the bag.
Do
dude.
I? Yeah. Do I put it in the bag?
Put it in the bag. Put it in
Let's
the
put it in
bag.
the bag.
dude.
Let's put it in the bag. Let's put it in the bag.
All right, ready? So it is a open-ended question.
Yeah.
Let me get my Google out.
Let's put it in the bag.
Okay, put it in the bag.
Don't
I'm
fucking
not
Google
Googling,
it.
dude. I'm a competitor. I don't like to cheat.
All right, ready? What year did Brian Cashman start working for the Yankees?
Nine, 1986.
Oh, SGR with the fucking from downtown.
Are
SGR.
you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah, well, I didn't start as the general manager, of course. I did start as an intern back in the 80s, and I worked my way up with Stick Michael. And, they liked what I did. They liked what they saw in me. And, no, sure enough, look where I am today. SGR.
Are you fucking kidding me
just
right
put it in
now?
the bag.
This is where shit gets dicey for me, right?
Bro,
like he just throws
hold
out
on.
a fucking number.
Dude,
Kid
hold
wasn't
on.
even born yet, and he
Yeah.
knows it somehow. Fucking
I
real, dude.
knew he started in the 80s. So I was thinking in the late 80s.
I thought
and
92.
That was my
That
guess.
would've been my guess. Wow.
I knew it was the
1980
late 80s.
He was a paid intern in 1986. Was his first
This
year with
is
the club.
fucked,
And
dude.
I
I'm gonna
even
have to
just
wear
did a
Dr.
whole
fucking Fauci.
speech just now as him.
Oh my god!
I even threw out the intern line.
Obviously, I'm gonna go fucking open ended.
Ew.
What player has the most career plate appearances in team history?
These are fucking rigged.
I don't
Derek
understand.
Jeter. Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter has the most career plate appearances in team history.
talk about a fucking.
So what's the score right now?
I don't want to tell you because
It's
I
9 to
don't want
8.
Brian-
It's 9 to 8.
Why would you tell him that? You're so stupid.
It's 9 to
Ryan,
8.
Ryan, multiple choice or open ended.
What question are we on?
Well,
This is the last one.
This is
Last
20?
question. This is 20.
Oh, I didn't know that. See,
told
this is
you
where
and
shut
I
this
should
bullshit.
take multiple choice. Multiple
If you
choice.
take you block them from winning if you take multiple choice. So is that what you want to do?
All right. So since hold on.
Be careful here because he can. If you don't get this, he can
No,
jump in and beat
I'm
you.
not doing that.
You're gonna put your balls on the
I don't know,
table
is
right
my-
now.
Am I here?
You're
Can you
here.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck this, dude. We're going drama fucking
Yeah,
full
let's do
zone.
it. Balls
Let's
on the
go
fucking-
for the
So
bag.
you're going
Open-ended.
open-ended.
Hell
Open-ended.
yeah.
Oh,
If
man.
Brian doesn't get this, Chris can steal for the win.
I got to give you respect, dude. I respect this move. It's a
All right,
fucking
ready.
power move. This is a power move.
And I'm gonna fucking get it. And we're not even gonna talk about it.
If you get
All right.
this, you should drop your fucking balls right on the camera.
I might. I got
Wow.
the blur. I could just go blur.
You got the blur.
All right, are you ready, Ryan? For the
Let's do
win. 3 managers in the club history, okay? 3 managers in club history have won a World Series as both a player and a manager. Ralph Houck and Joe Girardi are 2. Who is the third?
Yogi Berra.
Incorrect. Chris, for the win, Joe Girardi and Ralph Houck are 2 of 3 managers that have won World Series for the Yankees as both player and manager. Who is the third manager player to be part of that distinction?
Billy Martin.
From the depths of hell, Chris wins.
He
the
was
game.
a player?
Billy Martin was
His
a
number's
fucking-
retired, though.
He was a player manager.
No, I didn't say
Dr.
player
Gold
manager.
voucher.
Oh,
Yourself.
wait, that's BS.
Dr.
Then,
Don't
dude.
vouch yourself.
I did
told-
not say player. I said player and manager. Check the tape.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm
but
going to do
come
one
on.
thing. I'm going to do one
The
thing.
way you phrased that was in my head. It was player and player manager.
I'll do one thing.
When did Joe Girardi be a player manager?
I will do one thing.
True. I should have thought of it that way. No, he's right.
I will do one
wasn't
thing, though.
listening
I'm
that.
going to
I
do one
wasn't
thing.
listening for
Is
that.
the book near you?
I'll
Nah,
get it.
that's fair
Hold
though,
on.
because he did say Girardi, but my mind was thinking who's a player manager, who's a player manager. I wasn't even listening for anything else.
I want you to flip to a random. Oh, he can't hear me yet. Hold on.
What do you wanna know?
Here's what we're
It's
going to do.
stupid. It's
No,
stupid.
no. Hold
I
on.
won't-
Hold on. You are gonna, because listen, it's very fair. Ryan put his balls on the fucking table for this show. Here's what I think should happen. It's not because you didn't get the question, because you didn't understand it. It's because you put your ball out when you didn't have to.
True.
I think you flip to a random page, ask a multiple choice question to SGR. If he gets it, we do one question each, has to be open-ended until one of us gets it and the other one doesn't, if that makes sense.
If that's what you want to do.
Yes,
you wanna do
absolutely,
that?
dude. Give
All
him
right,
the
Ryan,
opportunity to get a multiple choice to tie it and
right.
go into OT.
All right.
Only fair.
All right, here we go.
Don't get it, please. It's got to be a random page. It can't be
All
like
right, well, yeah, but some of these questions are not worth asking, so I got to find one that is worth asking.
man, my heart's pounding.
Damn. I would have probably guessed that if I wasn't listening. Reading comprehension. You gotta
Right.
listen.
Joe Girardi,
Yeah,
he made a great point with that.
He's absolutely correct. It's the truth.
I was thinking Torrey at first because it did fuck me up with the player manager thing. And I knew Torrey was a player manager, but not for the Yankees.
All right, ready? I'm going from fucking left field with this one.
Okay. It's only
All right, ready?
Right.
In a high school football game, Johnny Damon suffered his first concussion at the hands of which? Huh?
Keep going.
In a high school football game, Johnny Damon suffered his first career concussion at the hands of what NFL star? Ronnie Lott, Michael Strahan, Troy Polamalu, or Warren Sapp?
God, my gut's telling me Strahan because you wouldn't have picked this one if it wasn't Strahan. But then again, maybe that's part of the game.
All right, I need an answer. We're past 15 seconds. here.
Michael Strahan.
It is incorrect. Warren Sapp
God damn it.
handed Johnny Damon his first career concussion in a high school football game.
Wow. I was thinking Warren Sapp, dude.
That's bullshit.
Do you want another one? Do you want a baseball one?
No, that's it.
No, that's it. One.
I would have liked one that I could have actually used some fucking thought and not pure guess.
give one with thought. Come on.
No,
All right,
it's okay.
okay.
No, come on.
that's
Come on. I want
stupid.
it. I
This
want
is
it fair.
stupid now.
I
This
want
is
it
stupid
fair.
now.
All right, okay.
How about this?
Because I was going to guess
if you
Warren
do
Sapp.
win at
That
this
was my
point,
other choice.
if you do win at this point,
No,
I
I
don't
don't
win the
want
Dr. Fauch one episode instead of 3.
2.
No one. Because now
No,
I'm giving
2.
him a second chance.
Okay, 1.5.
Okay.
You got to open the show on the second one. You don't have to
Okay,
wait
fine.
for. Okay,
Okay.
Over the nose. You could go under the nose for one
you
episode.
can go.
Okay. Fine. Deal.
Fuck.
See, something like here, I would ask you this: Who threw the first career Yankees no hitter? But the choices are Mariano Rivera, Lou Gehrig, Casey Stengel, and George Mogridge. Like, I mean, it eliminates 3 of them right off the fucking bat.
George Mao.
All right, here we go. Since neither one of you knew where the Yankees were originally founded, what year did the New York Yankees move to New York? And I'm not giving you multiple choice on that one. You have to guess because I can't do it.
They moved to New York. Oh wait, it says it. 1903. It says it on their marker. It's a 27-time world champs. 1903.
1903, the Yankees moved to New York.
Wow, dude. I got to give you credit for that, man.
Yeah, because it's on their banner. It says like 27-time world champions and then 1903. And
Dude,
then
that's your Rain Man shit coming out.
Oh yeah, that was I got that's 17, number 17.
All right, so what are we doing here?
All right, so just open-ended until one of us gets a question and the other one doesn't.
You want to go? We're going
open-ended for sure.
Yeah.
All right, good. That's
and there's
easier.
no steals. It's just got to be boom, boom, boom.
All right, I'm back in it now. After getting that one, we're
good,
now.
dude.
This
I'll
is
give
even.
that
Yeah,
to you.
that's even. It's even now.
Doctor, go vouch yourself.
Okay, here we go. Chris, you're up, right?
Yep.
Big fan of 61, the movie.
Love it. It's my favorite movie
All
ever.
right. Okay. Well, you should be able to get this one then. Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris were nicknamed the M&M Boys. In 1959, the Yankees acquired Roger Maris from what team?
Kansas City Royals.
Incorrect. The Kansas City Athletics.
Oh, I fucking hate your guts. You're a fucking piece of shit, honestly. What if I just said Kansas City? Would you have given it to me?
Nope, you needed to give me the team.
You
Right. Yeah, he would have asked for the team.
You are a piece of garbage, and
How am I a piece of garbage?
You're a piece of garbage. You know why?
Because you fucked up.
Piece of garbage.
You fucked up, dude.
Wow. Damn. Give me credit. I knew Kansas City.
Yeah.
Well,
He's from Kansas City. Yeah,
Fuck
that's in the
you,
movie.
dude.
That's in the movie. He's like, they took me out of Kansas City. My hair's falling out.
Make it man for Christ's sake.
What's that supposed to mean?
Fuck is that supposed to mean?
all right. Which former Yankees outfielder became the first rookie in history to hit 2 home runs in a World Series game?
Can you repeat the question?
I could.
May you?
I will. Which Yankees outfielder became the first rookie in history to hit excuse me. Let me start over again. Which Yankee outfielder became the first rookie in Major League history to hit 2 home runs in a World Series game?
Mickey Mantle.
Incorrect. It was
Aaron
Charlie
Judge. All right.
Charlie Keller.
All right. At least it wasn't fucking
Aaron Judge has never played in a World Series.
Oh, true. See my brain? Like, I'm not thinking.
All right. Okay.
What is that?
All right, Chris, you're up.
Let's do it.
Good luck.
Let's see here. Okay.
Okay.
Who was the 1978 World Series MVP?
Goose Gossage.
Incorrect. It was Bucky
Reggie
Dent.
Jackson.
Oh,
78. Here we go for the win.
For the win, SGR.
I think after this, it should just be like fucking football. Next point wins.
Yeah.
Like if you don't get this and I do, done.
Which former Yankee was the first catcher to win the American League Rookie of the Year award?
Which former Yankee was the first catcher to win Rookie of the Year?
That's the question.
It's got to be Thurman Munson.
Ryan from Bang.
I let myself go on this. I wanted to wear the Dr. Fauci mask.
No.
Let's
I did.
go.
Technically,
That was good though. We both had technicalities.
yeah. That was a great guess.
Yeah.
I'll say
Now,
this:
but-
I definitely won, obviously, but
Oh my god.
but
dude.
your second chances were great answers. They really
Mhm.
were. So
Thanks,
that
bro.
makes up for it.
Yeah. So
Technically,
so
I won, but
So I
technically,
won.
you won. Okay. All right, let's wrap this up.
Wow.
So for 2 episodes now, Chris will wear a Dr.
And I'm doing the
Fauci-
bonus. I'm doing the bonus episode where
Yes,
I
did
read
you
the,
mention that?
the Fauci book.
The kids book though. It's the kids Dr. Fauci book, and we're gonna do a bonus episode where Chris has to read it.
It's just gonna be me reading it and going, "What the fuck is this?"
So what we're doing here is he's going to order it on Amazon Prime. It'll be here. Okay.
Okay.
1 full episode with the mask on.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure it's a 2.5-hour show.
Okay.
A really long episode.
And then the following week, you have to at least wear it under the nose for the opening 10 minutes of the show.
Deal.
Okay.
Wow.
Deal.
So again, Chris loses a game we play at the
just love it.
NYYST podcast.
It just has to always end with me losing, like no matter what. It
I'm
just
pumped,
has to.
dude. I'm pumped up.
First of all, you fucked yourself in the first part because if you didn't say what the score was, Ryan would have never realized that he had to go multiple choice. Then you convince him to drop his balls. He does. You win. You're like, well, since you.
Because I'm a
you just-
competitor, dude. Because look, Ryan's doing it for the sake of the show at that point. He's not doing if he was a true competitor and it didn't matter what the show was going on, he obviously
Right.
would
I would have taken the knee.
So if he's going to
You should have
sacrifice
taken
something
a
for the
knee,
show,
but you should have taken a knee.
if he's going to sacrifice something for the show, then I want to sacrifice back.
You know how much your brother loves Dr. Go Fauci. You know how much he loves wearing masks.
Dr. Go Fauci yourself.
You could have had him wearing a mask for fucking 5 hours.
But do you want to end the game on a knee, or you want to end the game on a Hail Mary bomb with the clock running out?
As much as I loved the way that the Giants won the Super Bowls, the way they did against the Patriots, you know what I would have loved even more? Eli Manning taking a fucking knee and not me having agita at the end of those games. Okay?
Yeah, but it creates the ultimate fan experience, and that's what I was really going for.
But what would have happened if Tristan didn't open his mouth? You wouldn't have realized that you had to go multiple choice.
Yeah,
probably would have bet it anyway, and then he could have snuck in. So he did this to himself. His guilt got to him, and he fucking lost at the end.
It's true, dude. I got you.
Okay,
I got you. I can't wait to fucking wear it.
All right. So I had fun doing that. I think it was a nice mix of. It was a nice mix of hard, easy, and obscure.
Great questions.
Great questions.
So maybe we'll play
the Johnny Damon one.
Yeah, that was wild. I would have said Sapp though, because that's my boy. Pick. He's my boy.
But I went with Christian because
Warren Sapp always reminded me of the dude from D12. Forget his
Bizarre.
name. Yeah, bizarre. Yeah.
So maybe we'll do another game before we do Fred. For anybody that doesn't know, on Baseball Reference, there's projections that they post every year, and we've named the algorithm Fred. And we
because he's a drunk fucking idiot.
Yeah, because one year it was like Aaron Judge 7 home runs,
even though he's like dead on every year.
He had like 40 home runs, and it was like Aaron Judge projection 7 home runs.
Yeah, and now he's correct every year because the Yankees just suck.
Well, because now I think they're taking injuries into the algorithm, and you know when it's like Jameson Taillon 8 innings pitched, you're like, yeah, probably. Again, but you know, I saw a workout video of Jameson Taillon yesterday, and I had to go yank.
Yank. If Luke Voigt's anything to this team, it's that he does great workouts. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, shit, dude. I would hire Luke Voigt to be my personal trainer. What I would not hire him to do is to play first base for my softball team. Okay. Anyway, let's wrap up the show there. Okay. Thank you very much for listening and watching episode 267 of the NYYST podcast. Maybe we'll have a little more traction towards baseball next week. We'll see. The owners and players are scheduled to meet, so we'll see what happens there. If not, hey, we'll find a way to fill up an hour and a half. We always do. Thank you for your continued support of the show. Follow us on Twitter at NYYST_podcast. To the victor, SGR.
Go Yanks.
To the loser, Chris. Say goodbye.